friends, how are we? Are we all okay? So, welcome back. Hopefully you saw the last video where I made the earrings to match the Par Puca bracelet. So I made the Par Puca Amos bracelet, and then the last video I made the earrings to go with it, and I said I was going to make the pendant. So here we are at the pendant stage. So this is the pendant I made. So without further ado, let's get our list together of all the products that you need. To make the pendant then, you'll need 5 of the Par Puca Amos beads. You will need, excuse me, 5 3mm round beads and 5 11/0 beads and some 15/0 C beads. Now these are Duracoats galvanized and they are in silver, so you will need some 15/0s and a jump ring. I couldn't think of the name then for a second. And a jump ring to go on our necklace. I will be doing the necklace as well today, so if you wanted to make the necklace to go with it, to go with the pendant, you will need some beads of choice. I'm going to be using some 4mm green pearls, some 4mm little bicones, and then in between those we'll be having some 11/0 C beads. So first off then, let's just sort the pendant bit out. So we're going to be making this bit together now. So get your bits and bobs together. You will also be needing some thread. I'm using 1G thread today. I'm just using up what's left on this little reel. So I'm using 1G thread today, but you can use Superlon size D, you can use KO thread, Sono thread, whatever thread that you have, your beading thread that you have to hand, or your favourite beading thread, then that's what you can use. And a size 10 beading needle, because obviously we can't put it together without without a beading needle, can we? And you will need a pair of scissors to cut our thread, and later on we will be needing some jewellery pliers and some cutters, because we're going to be putting our necklace on some tiger tail. So I have some tiger tail here. You'll want about 20 inches, but it's all according how long you want your necklace. And this one's a little bit large. This one's an 18 inch, so today I'm going to make a 16 inch chain or necklace to fit our pendant. I think that's about it. Oh, no Jane, it isn't. For the necklace part you will be needing a lobster clasp, some crimp beads, 2 clot ends or clamshells, whichever word you use, and another jump ring. So 2 jump rings all together, guys. Alright, so get your bits and bobs together and let's get beading. Right guys, have you got all your bits and bobs together? So let's get beading then. So I've just gone ahead then and cut off about 30 inches. Now you don't really need 30 inches, but I always like to edge on the side of caution. I'd rather have a bit too much than not enough. So about 30 inches of my thread, and I've gone ahead and threaded my needle. So what we're going to do then is we're going to pick up our first Amos bead. All the Amos beads are going to be picked up by their thin end or down by the pointy end, and we're just going to put a 11/0 in between each one. Okay guys, so an Amos bead and a C bead, correct Jane, C bead. Do you know, I'm still suffering from the effects of COVID. Still got no taste or smell. I'm hoping it comes back very soon. And I'm still a bit groggy, as in my throat's a bit groggy. So we've got on our needle then 5 Amos beads, the Par Puca Amos beads, with 5 C beads. And we're just going to bring these down then towards our tail end of our thread. We're going to leave ourselves a bit of a tail so we can hang on to it, and we're going to tie it off in a second. And we want to come from our tail end. Get yourself positioned right, Jane. Through these beads again, from the tail end all the way back through these beads, making sure we don't miss any out, because that's really important that we don't. Pull these beads into a sort of a circle. This is what we've got at the minute. So just manoeuvre our thread down. But to give the base a bit of stability, we're going to go through these beads again. Going through as many beads as you can, or if you want to do one at a time, that's absolutely fine. Just making sure we don't miss any of the beads out. And we just want to exit. You can see that my tail thread is exiting here, so we just need to come through this next C bead. And we're going to tie some knots, but I want to pull this work up a bit better first. So giving your thread a little tug, your beads a little bit of a wiggle, and everything will come together nicely. Okay, an overhand knot, give our thread a nice tug, another overhand knot over the top, and then finishing off with a surgeon's knot. So just looping our thread around, bringing our needle through once, twice, and that will give us our surgeon's knot. Making sure that the knot goes between the beads, and just moving forward then, we just need to take our needle through the next bead in line, which is an Amos bead, and you'll feel that knot go into that Amos bead with a little tug. Fab. Now we can get rid of this tail thread. Fabulous. Right, I always like to work away from me, so in the next stage then, the next step, our thread is coming out of the bottom hole. We just need to bring our needle through the top hole. Now I'm going to turn my work over so that my thread then is working the way that I want it to work, away from me. So in between these Amos beads then, we're just going to put in a little 3mm bead. In between each of the Amos beads. Turning our little flower, it's almost a flower now, as we go, to make it comfortable for us to work with. can get through the next 3 mil, and that's great because we're just going to steady our work up again and give ourselves a good base. We're just going to go through them beads again. Not kidding, having no taste or smell. Sometimes it has its blessings. But yeah, I am sort of trying to introduce some strong tasting foods to try and boost my taste. Trying to kick my taste buds in. Right, I think we've gone all the way around now, and we want to make sure that we're exiting the 3 mil bead or any 3 mil bead. Okay, so now we're going to add our little bit of decoration around our lovely petals, and to do this we're going to pick up 9 15 O's. So get your 15 O's out, and we're going to pick up 9 of those. 3, 4, you'll have to excuse me counting out loud. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now sometimes these beads are a bit thin, it can get caught over your eye of your needle, so like that is now. That first one, it's the second one that won't go over. So unfortunately they'll have to all come off. Put that one aside and try again. So I've got 1 on there, so I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they've all gone on now nicely. Okay, so we're going to then go through our next 3 mil bead. So we've come out of this one, we've added 9 little 15 O's, and we're passing over now to the next 3 mil bead. Get yourself a knot in your thread, always handy. Knot. So another 9 beads then, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've all gone over this time. Bravo. And going on into our next 3 mil bead. When you can find the hole. I know you're there. They're a big hole as well in these 3 mils, but I'm struggling. There we are. Got it. Going forward then, another 9 beads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was going on? 8, 9. Oh, it's come through. And through our next 3 mil bead. And our next 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and exiting out of our next 3 mil bead. There we go. And we've got the first part of our pendant done. So now we're going to go on. We're not going to put a set of beads in on this last one. We're going to make our dangle part of the pendant. So for this then, guys, we need to pick up 7 15 O's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure they go over our needle, which they do. Pick up an 11 O. So we've had 7 15 O's, 1 11 O. and then we want another 7 15-0s. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And then we're going to come back through our 11-0. Let me just check that that's right. Yep. Back through our 11-0, and then pick up another 7 15-0s. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And then we're going to come down and go through the 3 mil. And if you can get through some of the 15-0s next to it in the same move, all well and good. If you can't, don't worry about it, just go through the 3 mil. Now we're going to come all the way through these 15-0s and we're going to come up here, okay? So just follow your thread path, making sure you don't miss out any of your 15-0s, going through a few beads at a time, making sure we just don't want to miss out any of those 15-0s, going through our 3 mil. So have any of you guys had COVID? Or have you all managed to escape it? I was really shocked that I managed to catch it after being kept myself safe all this time from the beginning, and then I go and get it. And my needle stuck. If your needle gets stuck, get a pair of pliers and gently give it a little pull, and that often will get you out of a tight situation. We're nearly round the other end, guys. That's it. If you've had COVID, did you lose your sense of smell and taste? Or were you, my other half, he's got COVID. He's still testing positive. I'm negative now. But he didn't lose his sense of smell at all. Or taste. Lucky monkey. Right, so we're at the other end then now. So I need to come back through the 3 mil. And we're going to come up the 7, 15s and into the 11-0. And now, can you remember if you watched the earrings, I made this little diamond shape. So that's what we're going to do again, like I did on this pendant. It just makes it a little bit prettier than just having a round join, if you like. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. So we're going to make a diamond again. So missing out, going through the first bead in our loop. So we've just exited the 11-0. I've got myself a knot. going through our first 15 row, once we've passed through our 11 row, go through the first 15 row, miss a 15 row and go through the next 15 row. Missing out the 15 row at the top and go through the next 15 row. Missing out a 15 row and go through the next 15 row and the 11 row. Give our thread a little pull. If it isn't sitting right, put your needle in, manoeuvre your beads around. All your threads with the beads that you've missed needs to be sitting in the centre, so joining the two seed beads. So we came up through the 11 row, went through a 15, missed a 15, went through a 15, missed a 15, went through a 15, missed a 15 and went through. And that will give you your little diamond shape. And we've come through the 11 row, and now we're just going to pass our needle through the 15s down this side. I didn't need all this thread at all, could have got away with about 20 inches, never mind. Going through the 3mm, we're just going to tie off some half-hitch knots now. Picking up a thread between the 3mm and the Amos bead. Going through the little loop that we've created and pulling the knot down. Going through the next Amos bead. And the 3mm. Again, picking up a thread in between the 3mm and the Amos bead. Putting our needle through the loop, pulling the knot down, going through the next Amos bead. Excuse me. Through the next 3mm. Picking up a thread between the beads, pulling down a little loop, putting our needle through the loop, and then going through the next Amos bead. And there we have our pendant finished. So I'm just going to cut off my thread, save that for another project. I've got plenty on there for another little project. Just going to put that out the way. So there we have our pendant done. Isn't that the cutest thing? I just think it's really cute, and it's so nice to have a set. So I'm just going to tidy these beads away then now, guys, and then we'll look at making the necklace part to hang our pendant on. How nice to have a full set of jewellery all matching. And the Amos beads, the packs of beads, you get a lot of beads I've made, so out of this green set then, I've had a bracelet, a pendant, a pair of earrings, and I did go on to make a pink and green one, but so there was another 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, and another 3 in there, 14, 15, 16, 17, and another 17 beads. So I could have probably made, wouldn't have got a full set, but yeah, how lovely. I'm really chuffed with this. So moving on then, we need to make ourselves our necklace, or you may have other ideas of what you'd like to put your pendant on, but for me I'm going to make another little necklace like this, the same. So I will need about, I'm going to say 20 inches, and that gives me plenty to play with. 12, I'm just going to cut my tiger tail and get rid of the kink at that end as well. Makes life a little bit easier. I do apologise about coughing a little bit. So if you look at my necklace then, in the centre, to keep my pendant centralised, I've got 3 seed beads, okay, and then I've gone off onto my pattern. You don't have to use this pattern, you can use whatever you like, but for me I'm going to use this pattern because I think it looks really pretty and sparkly and just matches the pendant lovely. So I'm going to get my 11 OC beads, I'm going to get my beads together, so I need to go over and get my other 11 O's. So I'm going to get my 4mm bicones together, I'm going to get my pearls together, I'm just going to nip over and get my 11 O's. You will also need 2 clamshells, like I said at the beginning of the video, some 4, what on earth do you call these, crimp beads, 4 crimp beads, and a lobster clasp, and 2 of your jump rings. Okay guys, so you get your bits and bobs together and we'll be right back. Right then, so I've got my 11 O's, my pearls and my bicones. So we're going to start off then by putting 3 of our seed beads, 11 O seed beads, and they will just drop down to the middle. So next in my pattern then, so I'm going to copy what I've already got because I really like it. So I'm just going to put a bicone on each side, followed by a seed bead on each end, followed by a pearl on each end. So that gives us our centre of our design. Okay, really pretty and sparkly, aren't they? So if I look back then at the one I already made, so that's how I did my centre part, and then I went into putting the seed bead, a bicone, seed bead, bicone, so 2 bicones together, and that's what I'm going to carry on doing because I really like how it looks. You can go on and do however you want, you don't have to copy me, I'm only giving you a little bit of inspiration. You can go ahead and do your own. If you wanted to just put seed beads on, there's nothing wrong with doing that. You just wanted to put seed beads, maybe you could do like a lime green and a silver seed bead. and maybe split it up by putting a bicone on, or a 3mm bead, whatever takes your fancy. So I'm just carrying on then, so seed bead on each side and then onto a pearl on each side. Nice simple design. Seed bead, bicone on each side. If I can pick them up, I can't even see the hole. I have had new glasses, believe it or not. Oh dear. So with a seed bead in between and another bicone for my pattern. And these are check bicones. That's a round, I don't know how you've got in there. And they're so sparkly, I'm loving them, they're lovely. With a seed bead in between. And then a pearl. Have your kids broke up for school if you're in the UK? I was broke up, I was just not long broke up. I think it was Friday. The children broke up from school. So this is where it all gets busy. But the roads will be quieter, won't they? Because there's not all the school traffic, so the roads will be a little bit quieter. But well, when I say quieter, not only at the school time run will they be quieter. They won't be quieter the rest of the time, because obviously it's summer holidays and we've got a lot of folk down here on holiday coming to enjoy Cornwall, which is lovely. Nice to see them. The roads just get absolutely gridlocked in holiday season. And Cornwall isn't one of them places that you get anywhere fast in anyway. I mean, 20 miles down here can take you half an hour. Oh dear. But that's the beauty of Cornwall, you know. That's the beauty of it. So just carrying on then with my pattern. I wonder what pattern you guys are using. Are you using the same as me, or are you going for something a little different? Like I say, I just love the sparkle of these bicones. They're just so pretty and sparkly. And the seed beads in between make it look lovely. Just give it a little nice little touch. Have you got anything planned? You going on holiday? Excuse me. I'm not going on holiday again this year. Who needs a holiday in any way when we live in such a beautiful place? I don't need to go on holiday. I'm not a massive... I mean, there's places I'd like to visit abroad, you know, but I'm not one for sitting and doing nothing. I like to, and plus I prefer places not too hot. Well, I'm not one for lounging around, if you know what I mean. Don't mind a pool day, but I won't want to do that every single day, if that makes sense. But some people, you know, that have got busy lives, that's what they look forward to, isn't it? We're all different. They look forward to sitting around the pool and doing nothing, which is lovely, especially if you're really, really busy. I think if I did that, I wouldn't want to go back work. I like to, like, you know, I've only ever been abroad, well, I've been abroad twice in my life. Once I went to Spain, I think I was about 9 or 10, with my mum and my auntie and my cousin, and that was alright. It was a case of, we were around the pool every day. Well, I suppose as kids that's all you want to do, isn't it? And then with Paul, my other half, we went to Tunisia, and gosh, how many years ago now? It's got to be 12 years ago. In fact, we only got passports to go, and the passports have now run out, so oh dear. So yeah, I mean, it was really nice. Went and saw some nice things. We went in November because Paul's worse at heat, doesn't like it hot. So we went in November, and it was still 21 plus degrees over there in the daytime. Plenty hot enough. You didn't, you certainly weren't cold, and sat around the pool for a day, but went out on excursions and things. I like to experience the culture and find out what the place is like. So, and we came back in November in flip-flops and crop trousers, and it was snowing. We were freezing, and Paul got a traveller's tummy. I told him not to eat the salad on the last night, but no, he went and did it, didn't he? So yeah, he woke me up. I think it was 2 in the morning. Of the morning we were travelling back. Jane, where's the Imodium? What? Well, you haven't. I have. Oh my God. And I really felt for him. So I went to that breakfast on my own. Well, he's got his head in his hands. Hasn't strayed from the loo. What a shame. And we had an hour and 20-minute trip to the airport. I've never seen anybody look so green, and I'm looking out the window saying, oh, look at the donkeys, and Paul's like, Jane, I don't really care about the donkeys at this moment in time. And he was just sat there looking as green as these bacons. It's not funny really, is it? And yeah, he suffered for a long time after with his tummy. He ended up having to go to the doctors and get some medicine off the doctor, because, wow, yeah, bless him. Dear. So yeah, that was our one and only real holiday that we've been on. Went to Scotland, had a lot. Scotland is absolutely stunning. They certainly won't run out of water and wood up in Scotland, but the scenery is breathtaking. And we stopped in a cottage on right on the canal part of Loch Ness, just before it goes into the loch itself. It was stunning, absolutely stunning, beautiful. Can't recommend that place enough. And certainly did some driving around and getting in as much of the scenery as we could. It was beautiful, really beautiful. So I'm just going to have a little look now and see how far I've got on my necklace. And a little ways to go yet. But isn't that gorgeous? Look at the colours. I hope the camera's picking it up nice. Just look at these colours. Sparkly. Gorgeous. I'll set that pendant. Will set off lovely. Excuse me. So what's your favourite holiday destination? Like I say, here in Cornwall, living here, you don't really... I mean, people do go abroad and go away. But I like where I live. I'm only 10 minutes from the coast. So if I want to go to the beach, I can. And I've got Bodmin Moor on my doorstep. Bodmin Moor is only about 20 minutes away. So that's nice. So if you want to go up on the moors, you can. And we've got Dartmoor. Dartmoor's about an hour and 20 away, something like that. So we've got everything we need on the doorstep. I'm just measuring this up to see where I am on that side. Just need to put a pearl on this side. Just remembering when you're making a necklace like this is what you put on one side, make sure that you put it on the other side. Let's have a look. 12, 13 inches probably. So not too far to go now. And apparently I did go to Jersey when I was very young. I can't remember it. I was only a toddler at the time, but went to Jersey with my nana and granddad. And my brothers and my mum. Thread attached, always good. Just have a look. 40. Just going to get Percy out and give my work a measure. Come on, Percy. Want a 16-inch necklace. And that's about right once I've put my seed beads on each end. So I'm going to finish off by putting 3 seed beads, maybe 4 or 5 seed beads on each end. Right here, okay. So to finish off my necklace then, I'm going to put on my clam or culotte and 2 crimp beads. Bringing my crimp beads up near the end of my tiger tail. I'm going to give it a squeeze. I didn't get the other one. A nice squeeze. Nip off the end of our tiger tail. Bringing up my culotte. I'm just going to bring and close that culotte off, taking a set of my pliers. And I'm just going to squeeze the ball part. Now we don't want to squeeze it so it's flat, we just want to squeeze it so it's all closed. Now before I close off my loop, I'm just going to put on my lobster clasp. And then bringing the end down to meet the ball part, and then just giving it a little squeeze where it meets, just to make sure that it's closed. Running all my beads down to the end then, I'm just going to move these out of the way. In fact, Jane, put them away, and then, what did it do with me? Oh, just move it. Talking to myself, guys, I do it all the time. Just going to move these beads out of the way a bit. Okay. So just bringing all my beads down then to my closed off end. I've got far too much wire, so I'm just going to cut some off. Putting on my clam on the other side. Hang on a second, I just want to open that up a bit. So I'm just going to open it up a bit. It just makes life a little bit easier when we put in our crimp tubes on. So on with the crimp tube. Bringing your beads so they're snug but not overly tight. You still want your beadwork to be able to move. That just takes a little bit of practice. Taking my pliers down into where the crimp bead meets the clamshell and making sure my work's up nice and snug. I'm just going to squeeze that crimp tube. Getting another crimp tube. Not that. Popping it on and giving that a squeeze as well. Making sure they're nice and secure and fully closed. Taking off our excess tiger tail. And I'm just going to close my clam or culotte over the crimps. I'm just going to squeeze that shut, not flattening the bead, just squeezing it nice and gently. You can see I'm only putting bits of pressure on, and then closing our loop, giving a little squeeze where it joins the ball, just making sure it's totally sealed and closed. Taking one of our jump rings, opening from north to south, putting it through the loop of our clasp ending, bringing the two ends of our jump ring together, just taking it a little bit past and it will spring back. Now onto the pendant, taking another jump ring, opening from north to south, finding the centre of our necklace, and that, remember, is where we put the 3 seed beads, putting our jump ring through our little diamond that we made. Oh, go on. Perhaps I'll go through that bit first. There we are. Closing our jump ring. And there we have our finished necklace. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. I really love it. And that will sit nice and high around my neck. What do you think then, guys? Give yourselves a nice big round of applause. I'll do it for you. Well done. Well done. And there we have a beautiful piece of jewellery. Well, I think so in any way. So there we have our pendant, our earrings, and our bracelet. Made with love. And not one swear word. Even when we couldn't get a needle through the 15Os. So there we are then, guys. I really, truthfully, hopefully, no, Jane, I really, truthfully hope, that's better, excuse me, that you enjoyed this little series of the bracelet, the earrings and the pendant with the necklace. I hope that you go on to make lots, and like I say, you get a load of the Par Puca Amos beads in to make a nice set of jewellery, and then on your way to making a second bracelet. So I think it's, you could even start them, couldn't you? Not with, put them together and wear them together. Oh, I think it's great. I've obviously been talking too much. So there we are then. I'm not quite sure of what I'm going to be doing next. I'm thinking I might do a hugs and kisses bracelet. I'm unsure. And I did make this as well, but I'm not sure. It's a bit chunky. I don't know if I do like it, but I don't like it. I don't like my choice of super duos, but it might look nicer in some brighter colours. But it looked good for autumn, so I don't know. So I'm undecided. I might do this, show you how to make these components. So it's like making beaded beads. So there we are then, guys. Less talking, Jane, end the video. So please give me a thumbs up at the end of the video if you really like the video. Please think about subscribing if you're new to me, and don't forget to hit the notification button or bell wherever it is. I will put a link to the earrings and the bracelet underneath the video in the description box down there. If you've been admiring this bracelet that I've been wearing today, this is a Zig Zag bracelet, and if you like I can put a link in to the Zig Zag bracelet too underneath the video. I thought it matched my nails today. I really liked it, and I'm wearing all grey, wearing a grey top, so I thought, you know, an all grey. So there you are. So less chattering, Jane, come on, end your video. I truly hope that you've enjoyed it, guys. Please do drop me a comment. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. So until next time, take very, very good care of yourself.